Do we know, or would you have an understanding of how many of them we're talking about and the variety of them?
Well, we have a certain number of different things.
Above top secret, there is 5 levels of access.
Alaska's remote and icy waters have long been shrouded in mystery.
My name is and I am a former United States Army military specialist.
But what if we told you that beneath the freezing depths lies something far more astonishing? Recent revelations from scientists suggest there's more than just natural beauty hidden in the Alaskan wilderness.
I think we're getting very close to rediscovering some of the things that our ancient ancestors were up to.
And that's where they say Eisenhower made a deal with these aliens.
Whispers of a secret CIA operation and an alleged underwater alien base have sparked a frenzy of speculation. The vast, icy expanses of Alaska have always been a place of mystery and legend. From tales of hidden gold to the eerie lights of the aurora borealis, the state has captured the imagination of adventurers, scientists, and conspiracy theorists alike. But what if the biggest secret Alaska holds isn't above ground, but deep beneath its frigid waters? This script explores the sensational claim that scientists have exposed a hidden, CIA-operated underwater alien base in Alaska. A story that combines the intrigue of extraterrestrial life with the shadowy world of government secrets. The history of underwater alien bases, from myth to speculation. The idea of underwater alien bases is not a new one. For decades, conspiracy theories have swirled around the possibility that extraterrestrial beings have established secret bases in the oceans, far from the prying eyes of humanity. These theories are often linked to the phenomenon of unidentified submerged objects, USOs, which are the aquatic equivalent of UFOs. Sightings of USOs have been reported all over the world, with hotspots in areas like the Bermuda Triangle and the waters off the coast of California. The concept of underwater bases ties into the broader narrative of extraterrestrial visitation and the idea that Earth might be a strategic outpost for advanced alien civilizations. According to some theorists, the oceans provide the perfect cover for these bases, as they are difficult to detect and can be accessed with advanced technology far beyond our current capabilities. The idea of such a base in Alaska, a region known for its remote and inhospitable environment, seems almost fitting given its isolation and strategic location. The CIA's secret operations in Alaska, a brief overview. The CIA has long been involved in clandestine operations, many of which remain shrouded in mystery. Alaska, with its proximity to Russia and its strategic position in the Cold War, has been a focal point for American intelligence activities. During the Cold War, Alaska served as a key surveillance and defense outpost for the United States, with numerous military bases and radar stations established throughout the state. The CIA, along with other intelligence agencies, used these facilities to monitor Soviet activity and gather intelligence on potential threats. One of the most famous secret operations linked to Alaska is the HAARP, High-Frequency Active Auroral Research Program project, a research initiative that has been the subject of countless conspiracy theories. While officially HAARP was designed to study the ionosphere and improve communication technologies, some believe it was a cover for more nefarious activities, such as weather manipulation or mind control experiments. The connection between HAARP and the alleged underwater alien base adds another layer of intrigue to the story, suggesting that the CIA's activities in Alaska may have extended far beyond what the public was led to believe. The discovery, what scientists allegedly found. According to the story, the discovery of the underwater alien base in Alaska was not the result of a deliberate search, but rather a serendipitous find by a team of oceanographers conducting research in the region. The scientists, who were reportedly studying the seafloor for geological activity, stumbled upon something they never expected: a massive artificial structure submerged deep beneath the ocean's surface. The structure, which was described as being several miles in diameter, appeared to be made of materials not found on Earth, with a design that defied conventional engineering principles. The scientists were allegedly stunned by their discovery and quickly reported their findings to the authorities. However, instead of receiving support and recognition for their work, they were met with a wall of silence. According to some accounts, the CIA was quickly brought in to suppress the discovery, fearing the implications of such a revelation. The agency allegedly seized the data and ordered the scientists to keep quiet about what they had found, threatening them with severe consequences if they ever went public. The cover-up. How the CIA suppressed the discovery. The notion of a cover-up is central to the story of the underwater alien base. According to proponents of the theory, the CIA moved swiftly to ensure that news of the discovery did not leak to the public. The agency allegedly used a combination of threats, bribery, and disinformation to keep the scientists silent and to discredit any reports that might have made it into the media. One of the key tactics allegedly employed by the CIA was to spread false information about the nature of the discovery. The agency reportedly planted stories suggesting that the structure was nothing more than a natural formation or a man-made installation, such as an old submarine base or an underwater oil rig. By muddying the waters, the CIA was able to cast doubt on the authenticity of the discovery and prevent any serious investigation from taking place. The agency also allegedly took steps to ensure that the physical evidence of the discovery was destroyed or concealed. Some accounts suggest that the CIA used advanced technology to cloak the base, making it invisible to conventional sonar and radar. Others claim that the agency simply destroyed the structure, using explosives or other means to eliminate any trace of its existence. Whatever the method, the goal was the same: to prevent the world from learning the truth about the underwater alien base in Alaska. The role of Joe Rogan, bringing the story to light. Joe Rogan, the popular podcast host and comedian, has long been known for his interest in fringe topics and conspiracy theories. Over the years, Rogan has hosted numerous guests who have discussed everything from UFOs to ancient civilizations, often delving into topics that mainstream media avoids. It was through his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, that the story of the underwater alien base in Alaska first gained widespread attention. Rogan first heard about the story from a former CIA operative who appeared as a guest on his show. The operative, who claimed to have inside knowledge of the agency's activities in Alaska, shared the details of the discovery and the subsequent cover-up. According to the operative, the CIA had been aware of the existence of the base for decades, but had kept it secret due to the potentially explosive implications of revealing that aliens had established a foothold on Earth. The interview with the CIA operative quickly went viral, with millions of listeners tuning in to hear the sensational claims. Rogan's platform provided the perfect forum for the story to reach a large audience, and it wasn't long before other media outlets began to pick up on the story. Despite the controversy and skepticism surrounding the claims, Rogan's interview helped to bring the story of the underwater alien base in Alaska into the public consciousness. The evidence. Separating fact from fiction. One of the most challenging aspects of the story is the lack of concrete evidence to support the claims. While the story of the underwater alien base is compelling, it is based largely on the testimony of a few individuals and unverified reports. Without hard evidence such as photographs, videos, or physical samples, it is difficult to determine whether the story is true or simply another conspiracy theory. However, proponents of the theory argue that the lack of evidence is itself evidence of a cover-up. They point to the CIA's alleged involvement in suppressing the discovery as proof that the government is hiding something significant. According to this line of reasoning, the absence of evidence is not proof that the base does not exist, but rather proof that the CIA has been successful in keeping it hidden. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue that the story is nothing more than a fabrication or a misunderstanding of natural phenomena. They point out that many of the claims made by the supposed whistleblowers are impossible to verify, and that the story lacks the kind of documentation that would be expected in a discovery of this magnitude. Without more concrete evidence, they argue, the story remains nothing more than an entertaining but unsubstantiated tale. The implications. What if it's true? If the story of the underwater alien base in Alaska is true, the implications are staggering. The discovery would not only confirm the existence of extraterrestrial life, but also suggest that aliens have been secretly operating on Earth for an unknown period. This revelation would raise countless questions about the nature of these beings, their intentions, and the extent of their activities on our planet. One of the most pressing questions would be why the aliens chose to establish a base in such a remote and inhospitable location. Some theorists speculate that Alaska's isolation and harsh environment provide the perfect cover for a secret base, allowing the aliens to operate without fear of detection. Others suggest that the base may be part of a larger network of extraterrestrial installations around the world, each strategically placed for specific purposes. The discovery would also have profound implications for our understanding of the universe and our place within it. The existence of an underwater alien base would challenge many of the assumptions we hold about life, technology, and the nature of reality. It would force us to reconsider our place in the cosmos and confront the possibility that we are not alone. Theories and speculations. What are they doing there? Theories about what the aliens might be doing at the underwater base in Alaska range from the benign to the sinister. Some believe that the base is a research station where the aliens are studying Earth and its inhabitants. According to this theory, the aliens are simply curious about our planet and are conducting scientific research to learn more about our species and our environment. Others speculate that the base is a monitoring station where the aliens are keeping an eye on humanity and our technological development. Proponents of this theory argue that the aliens are observing us to ensure that we do not pose a threat to their interests or to the stability of the galaxy. They point to the numerous reports of UFO sightings near military installations and nuclear facilities as evidence that the aliens are concerned about our weapons and technology. A more sinister theory suggests that the aliens are using the base as a staging ground for more nefarious activities, such as abductions, genetic experiments, or even the preparation for an invasion. According to this theory, the aliens have been secretly manipulating human affairs for centuries, using their advanced technology to influence our development and prepare for a future takeover. The base in Alaska, they argue, is just one piece of a much larger and more insidious plan. The government response, official denials, and public skepticism. As with many conspiracy theories, the story of the underwater alien base in Alaska has been met with official denials and public skepticism. Government agencies, including the CIA, have consistently denied any knowledge of the base or any involvement in a cover-up. Officials have dismissed the claims as baseless and have pointed to the lack of evidence as proof that the story is nothing more than a fabrication. However, these denials have done little to quell public interest in the story. In fact, many people view the government's response as further evidence of a cover-up. They argue that the official denials are simply a smokescreen designed to protect the truth from coming out. According to this view, the more the government denies the existence of the base, the more convinced people become that it is real. Public skepticism, on the other hand, has focused on the lack of concrete evidence and the sensational nature of the claims. Many people find it difficult to believe that such a discovery could be kept secret for so long, especially in an age where information is so easily accessible. Without more tangible proof, they argue, the story remains nothing more than a fanciful tale. The role of technology. Could advanced tech explain the base? One of the key questions surrounding the story of the underwater alien base in Alaska is how the aliens could have built and maintained such a structure without being detected. Proponents of the theory argue that the aliens possess technology far beyond our current understanding, allowing them to operate in ways that seem impossible to us. According to this view, the aliens may have used advanced cloaking technology to hide the base from detection, or they may have developed materials and construction techniques that are simply beyond our comprehension. Some theorists even suggest that the aliens are capable of manipulating space and time, allowing them to move in and out of our reality at will. While these ideas may sound like science fiction, they are not entirely without precedent. In recent years, scientists have made significant advances in fields like quantum mechanics and artificial intelligence, challenging our understanding of reality and opening up new possibilities for what might be possible. If the aliens are indeed operating at a level of technology far beyond our own, it is conceivable that they could build and maintain a base in Alaska without our knowledge. The psychological impact. How does this story affect us? The story of the underwater alien base in Alaska taps into some of our deepest fears and desires as a species. On one level, it speaks to our curiosity and our longing to know whether we are alone in the universe. The idea that aliens might be living among us, operating in secret, is both thrilling and terrifying, offering the possibility of answers to some of humanity's biggest questions. At the same time, the story also plays on our fears of the unknown and the possibility that there are forces beyond our control that are shaping our lives in ways we cannot understand. The idea of a secret alien base hidden beneath the ocean suggests that there are things happening in the world that are beyond our comprehension and that we may be powerless to stop. For some people, the story may also trigger feelings of paranoia and distrust of the government. The idea that the CIA is actively suppressing information about the base feeds into a broader narrative of government secrecy and deception, reinforcing the belief that we are not being told the whole truth about what is happening in the world. Cultural impact. How the story influences media and entertainment. The story of the underwater alien base in Alaska has had a significant impact on popular culture, inspiring countless books, movies, and television shows. The idea of secret alien bases has been a staple of science fiction for decades, with stories like The Abyss and Stargate exploring similar themes of hidden extraterrestrial activity beneath the ocean. In recent years, the popularity of shows like Stranger Things and The X-Files has brought the concept of government cover-ups and secret alien experiments back into the spotlight, with many viewers drawn to the mystery and intrigue of these stories. The idea of an underwater alien base in Alaska fits perfectly into this genre, offering a tantalizing mix of science fiction, conspiracy theory, and real-world mystery. The story has also had an impact on the broader UFO community, with many researchers and enthusiasts incorporating it into their own theories about extraterrestrial activity on Earth. The idea of secret alien bases, whether on land, in the ocean, or in space, is a recurring theme in UFO literature, with many believers convinced that the government is hiding the truth about the presence of aliens on our planet. The deeper mysteries, unanswered questions about the alleged underwater alien base. The narrative of an underwater alien base in Alaska, while thrilling, leaves us with a host of unanswered questions that further deepen the mystery. As we delve into these queries, we enter a realm where the line between fact and fiction blurs, where every piece of information leads to more speculation, and where the very nature of reality seems to be called into question. Why Alaska? The strategic significance. One of the most compelling questions is, why would extraterrestrials choose Alaska as the location for a secret base? On the surface, Alaska seems an ideal location due to its remoteness, harsh climate, and sparse population. The icy waters of the North Pacific, the deep fjords, and the vast stretches of wilderness provide natural cover, making it an optimal place for clandestine operations. But there's more to this location than meets the eye. Alaska is strategically significant from a geopolitical standpoint. It lies close to Russia, making it a critical region during the Cold War. It's also a gateway to the Arctic, a region of increasing interest due to its untapped natural resources and strategic military importance. If extraterrestrials were seeking a location that offered both seclusion and strategic advantages, Alaska would be an obvious choice. Moreover, the region's geological features could provide a natural shield against detection. The ocean floor in this area is known for its tectonic activity, including deep trenches and underwater volcanoes. Such geological features could be used to mask the presence of an alien base from sonar and other detection technologies. The idea that these beings might be using Earth's natural features to their advantage adds another layer of intrigue to the story. Advanced technology or natural phenomena? Another major question revolves around the technology that would be required to construct and maintain such a base. If we accept the possibility that extraterrestrials are capable of building a massive structure under the ocean, then we must also consider the level of technology required to do so. Could the aliens possess technologies that allow them to manipulate matter at a molecular level, creating structures that are impervious to the pressures of the deep sea? Perhaps they have developed energy sources far more advanced than anything humanity has yet conceived, allowing them to operate without detection for centuries or even millennia. This leads us to consider whether the phenomena attributed to this alleged base could be explained by natural, albeit rare, geological or oceanographic processes. Could the supposed alien base be a misinterpretation of natural formations, such as unusual rock structures or methane hydrate deposits on the ocean floor? The absence of hard evidence leaves room for such speculation, suggesting that what some see as proof of extraterrestrial activity might instead be rare but natural phenomena that we do not yet fully understand. The involvement of the military. Coincidence or conspiracy? The U.S. military has a significant presence in Alaska, with numerous bases and facilities scattered throughout the state. These installations are primarily focused on national defense, including missile defense systems, radar installations, and other strategic operations. However, some theorists suggest that the military's presence in Alaska is not just about national defense, it's also about monitoring and potentially interacting with extraterrestrial beings. The idea that the military might be involved in a cover-up to protect a secret alien base is not without precedent. There have been numerous cases throughout history where military and intelligence agencies have been accused of hiding evidence of extraterrestrial encounters. From the infamous Roswell incident to the mysterious lights seen over Phoenix, Arizona in 1997, the military has often been at the center of UFO-related controversies. In the case of Alaska, some theorists propose that the military has known about the underwater base for decades and has been actively working to keep it a secret. This could involve everything from suppressing information to actively working with the extraterrestrials. The idea of a secret collaboration between the U.S. government and alien beings is a staple of conspiracy theories. But in the case of Alaska, it raises the question, what could the military possibly gain from such an arrangement? The HAARP connection, more than just research? The High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, HAARP, has long been a source of controversy and speculation. Officially, HAARP was designed to study the ionosphere and improve communication technologies, but some believe it was a cover for more sinister activities. These theories include everything from weather manipulation to mind control experiments. Given HAARP's location in Alaska, it's not surprising that it has been linked to the story of the underwater alien base. Some theorists suggest that HAARP was actually designed to monitor or communicate with the base, using its powerful radio transmitters to send signals deep into the ocean. Others believe that HAARP's true purpose was to cloak the base, making it invisible to satellites and other detection technologies. The HAARP connection adds another layer of complexity to the story. If HAARP was indeed part of a broader effort to conceal the base, it would suggest that the U.S. government has been aware of the extraterrestrial presence in Alaska for a long time and has gone to great lengths to keep it hidden. The implications of such a scenario are profound, raising questions about what other secrets the government might be hiding. Alien agenda. What do they want? If we accept the possibility that extraterrestrials have established a base in Alaska, the next logical question is, what is their purpose? Are they simply observing us, as some theorists suggest, or do they have a more active agenda? One theory is that the aliens are conducting scientific research on Earth, studying our planet and its inhabitants much as we would study a foreign ecosystem. This would explain their need for a base, as it would provide a secure location from which to conduct their operations. The remoteness of Alaska would make it an ideal location for such a facility, far from the eyes of the curious and the skeptical. Another possibility is that the aliens are using the base as a staging ground for more direct intervention in human affairs. This could involve anything from influencing global events to manipulating our technological development. Some theorists even suggest that the aliens are preparing for a more overt presence on Earth, and that the base is part of a broader strategy to gradually reveal themselves to humanity. A more ominous theory posits that the aliens are engaged in activities that are harmful to humanity, such as genetic experiments or the extraction of Earth's resources. According to this view, the base is a hub for operations that could have serious consequences for our planet and its inhabitants. The idea that extraterrestrials might be exploiting Earth for their own purposes is a disturbing one, but it's a possibility that cannot be entirely ruled out. Encounters and abductions? A personal connection? Throughout history, there have been countless reports of encounters with extraterrestrial beings, including abductions, sightings, and other unexplained phenomena. Could these encounters be connected to the alleged underwater base in Alaska? Some theorists believe that the base is the source of many of these encounters, with the aliens using it as a base of operations for their activities on Earth. This could include everything from abducting humans for experimentation to conducting reconnaissance missions. The idea that there is a direct connection between the base and the many reports of UFOs and alien encounters adds a new dimension to the story, suggesting that the base is not just a passive installation, but an active hub of extraterrestrial activity. For those who claim to have been abducted or had other encounters with aliens, the discovery of the base would provide a possible explanation for their experiences. It would suggest that the aliens are not just visiting Earth sporadically, but are actually living among us, operating from a hidden location beneath the ocean. This would explain the frequency and consistency of alien encounters reported over the years. The scientific community, skepticism, and dismissal. Despite the sensational nature of the story, the scientific community remains largely skeptical of the claims about an underwater alien base in Alaska. Most scientists dismiss the story as a conspiracy theory, pointing to the lack of hard evidence and the implausibility of the claims. From a scientific perspective, the idea of an alien base hidden beneath the ocean raises numerous questions. How could such a base be constructed without leaving any trace? What kind of materials would be required to withstand the immense pressures of the deep sea? And how could the base remain hidden from modern detection technologies? Skeptics also point out that the story relies heavily on anecdotal evidence and the testimony of a few individuals, many of whom have not provided any verifiable proof of their claims. Without more concrete evidence, such as physical samples, high-resolution images, or direct observation, the scientific community is unlikely to take the story seriously. However, this skepticism has not deterred believers, who argue that the very nature of the story makes it difficult to prove or disprove. They suggest that the absence of evidence is itself evidence of a cover-up, and that the truth will only come to light if the government or other authorities decide to reveal what they know. The role of media, sensationalism versus serious inquiry. The story of the underwater alien base in Alaska has been heavily covered by alternative media outlets, conspiracy theorists, and fringe researchers. However, it has received little attention from mainstream media, which has largely dismissed it as a baseless conspiracy theory. This raises questions about the role of media in shaping public perception of such stories. While alternative media outlets have been quick to report on the story, often with sensational headlines and speculative content, mainstream media has taken a more cautious approach, focusing on the lack of evidence and the implausibility of the claims. This divide between alternative and mainstream media reflects a broader trend in the way information is disseminated and consumed in the digital age. With the rise of social media and online platforms, it has become easier for sensational stories to gain traction, even if they lack credible sources or evidence. This has led to a proliferation of conspiracy theories and other fringe beliefs, many of which thrive in the echo chambers of the internet. At the same time, mainstream media has often been criticized for being too quick to dismiss such stories, sometimes without fully investigating the claims. This has led to accusations of bias and censorship, with some people believing that the media is complicit in covering up the truth about extraterrestrial activity and other controversial topics. The future of the story, what comes next? As the story of the underwater alien base in Alaska continues to circulate, the question remains, what comes next? Will new evidence come to light that either confirms or disproves the claims? Or will the story remain in the realm of speculation and conspiracy theory? One possibility is that advances in technology will make it easier to explore the deep sea and uncover any hidden secrets. With the development of more sophisticated underwater drones and other exploration tools, it may become possible to conduct a more thorough investigation of the area where the base is said to be located. If such an investigation were to take place, it could either provide the evidence needed to confirm the story or put the rumors to rest once and for all. Another possibility is that the story will continue to evolve, with new claims and theories emerging over time. As with many conspiracy theories, the lack of definitive proof means that the story can be endlessly reinterpreted and expanded upon. This could lead to the development of new narratives and connections as theorists attempt to piece together the puzzle of the underwater alien base. Ultimately, the future of the story may depend on the willingness of those involved to come forward with more information. If there are indeed individuals who have knowledge of the base, their testimony could be crucial in shedding light on the truth. However, given the secretive nature of the alleged base and the potential risks involved, it is possible that we may never know the full story. A cautionary tale. The dangers of unfounded speculation. While the story of the underwater alien base in Alaska is undeniably intriguing, it also serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unfounded speculation. In the absence of hard evidence, it is easy for stories like this to spiral out of control, leading to the spread of misinformation and the reinforcement of conspiracy theories. This is not to say that the story should be dismissed outright. After all, the possibility of extraterrestrial life is one of the most profound questions facing humanity. However, it is important to approach such stories with a critical eye, weighing the evidence and considering alternative explanations before jumping to conclusions. In the end, the story of the underwater alien base in Alaska may tell us more about ourselves than it does about the aliens. It reflects our fears and hopes, our curiosity and skepticism, and our endless quest for knowledge and understanding. Whether the story is true or not, it reminds us that the search for truth is a complex and often elusive endeavor, one that requires both an open mind and a healthy dose of skepticism. As we continue to explore the mysteries of our world and beyond, the story of the underwater alien base in Alaska will likely remain a topic of fascination and debate. Whether it is ultimately proven or disproven, it will serve as a reminder of the enduring power of the unknown and the ways in which our imaginations can shape our understanding of the universe.
This area has unexpectedly become an epicenter for all things unexplainable and strange. There are numerous stories of paranormal events, some involving bizarre entities, UFOs, and strange light phenomena. At the farthest end of the untouched wilderness lies the Alaska Triangle, the most symbolic question mark haunting the mysteries of this region. Accounts of alien meetings, sightings of Bigfoot, and bizarre cases of unexplained plane accidents have further deepened the triangle's mystery. From one generation to the other, myths of unusual lights in the sky and sightings of extraordinary creatures that cannot be explained by science have been passed down. These only contribute to Alaska's attraction as a mystery spot. The main attraction is undoubtedly the landscapes, particularly the Gulf of Alaska, which dives more than 8,000 meters in the depths. The unknown waters open up new horizons for the imagination, stimulating the curiosity of many about the hidden mysteries they conceal. One intriguing theory suggests the presence of otherworldly entities beneath Alaska's waters, which may be the reason behind the increasing number of UFO sightings in the area. According to UFO researcher Johnny Enoch, Alaska's distinctive geography, which is coastal and densely populated with lakes, forms an attractive environment for aquatic life on the planet. Its isolation provides an anonymous screen and a secluded habitat, with diverse ecosystems offering shelter. Stories of UFO sightings have colorfully decorated the pages of history. With its enormous unexplored territory and unreachable waters, Alaska remains one of the regions rumored to be home to underwater UFO phenomena. Apart from the mystery surrounding the sunken Atlantis and its lost civilization, the possibility of hidden extraterrestrial bases under Alaskan waters makes the region captivating. The underwater UFO phenomena can be defined as a puzzle that has captured the imagination not only of skeptics, but also believers who have reported alien sightings and their fantastic capabilities. The notion of underwater bases, or portals, prompts intriguing questions about the nature of these phenomena and their potential implications for our comprehension of the universe. And now, the discovery of a strange black pyramid adds further intrigue. Could these structures serve as gateways for enigmatic beings? What lies in the bowels of the earth beneath the colossal Black Pyramid, which is shrouded in mystery and believed to be incomparable in size even to the greatest pyramid of all time, the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt? Although the pyramids of Egypt are the most popular and sometimes even the most visited ancient constructions in the world, they are also very mysterious, with numerous unsolved secrets awaiting revelation. The story of the discoveries relating to rising temperatures inside the Great Pyramids in Giza in 2015 begs questions. The narrative involved various scientists and architects worldwide and speaks volumes about our curiosity regarding antiquity. The mysterious heat signatures detected in the extraterrestrial surroundings elude the experts. Although plenty of theories exist, including void spaces or different materials used, the ultimate explanation continues to evade us. Similarly, anomalies were also uncovered during infrared scanning of the Great Pyramid's upper half at sunrise and sunset. This raised questions about concealed chambers and their mysterious warmth. To reveal the truth, we might have to spend the next few years, and possibly even more, doing complex research and a thorough investigation. Contemplating Egypt's ancient marvels inevitably raises the perplexing question: how exactly did they manage to sculpt the most monumental stones so easily? The rivaling scale of Egypt's achievements exceeds the impressive capabilities of present construction projects. So, it is naturally challenging to think that Egyptians created their masterpieces merely with primitive tools. These artifacts suggest that power tools, possibly saws, were used, as indicated by marks on the granite blocks within the king's chamber of the Great Pyramid. Despite uncertainty surrounding these ancient saws, their distinct imprints provide compelling evidence of their existence. Yet, the whereabouts of this stone-cutting technology and its absence from modern discovery remain shrouded in mystery. The pyramid's secrets deepened in 2017 as advanced scanning technology revealed two gigantic voids inside the pyramids, their contents hidden in the unknown, adding another layer to the pyramid's riddle. Assumptions concerning their function run from maintenance corridors to sealed-off burial complexes, just waiting to be dug up. There are two empty spaces measuring up to 100 feet, around 30 meters, in length. In shape, they resemble the Grand Gallery directly beneath it. It is speculated that the void may have been intentionally carved to avoid the increased pressure, which could have resulted in a collapse. However, definitive answers remain elusive, necessitating further investigation. Investigating these voids is complicated because there are no passages directly leading to them. Scientists must find creative ways to use tunneling robots to probe these mysterious areas. The Great Pyramid of Giza's age, commonly cited as 4,500 years old, also raises doubts about its actual age and the accuracy of historical estimations. Major historians commonly focus on the fact that the Great Pyramid of Giza was built between 2589 BCE and 2504 BCE. In fact, a radiocarbon dating test carried out in 1984 seemed to support this timeline. However, in 1994 and 1995, carbon dating testing indicated a potential difference of more than 2 centuries. This leads to the assumption that the pyramids may be 200 years younger than previously believed. This result contradicts the traditional narrative. Hence, the current narrative is that the pyramid was built a century after the pharaoh's death. However, there's a slight hitch. Radiocarbon dates are almost always derived from wood samples, which are often reused in ancient Egypt. Taking this stand, the wood used in the construction of the pyramids could have aged before being incorporated into the structure's design. While the history books give us the 4,500-year date, the pyramids may be closer to 4,000 years old. Given this disparity, the debate continues about how old they are and how long they took to build. Even if the actual age is not determined, among all the other structures of humanity, the Great Pyramid of Giza stands firm as one of the most monumental works of humans. However, discovering a pyramid of even greater size in such a remote location in Alaska marks a significant archaeological breakthrough. The Black Pyramid's immense size and ancient origins, believed to date back millions of years, have fueled endless speculation. As one such rumor, it is said that there is a huge underground Black Pyramid in Alaska, and the U.S. military is trying to conceal it from the general public. The account of Douglas Muchler, an ex-Army counterintelligence officer, fuels this rumor. Having worked in military intelligence at Fort Richardson, near Alaska, Douglas encountered something peculiar on a map when he began his job. He noticed that a big part of the military map was left blank and with question marks. Although he thought it a bit odd, the only explanation he could find was the military's usual inclination for secrecy. Nonetheless, in 1992, a nuclear test in China shifted his mind, and this incident was watched with concern by geologists and scientists worldwide, including Douglas. The next day, the effect of the explosion was the subject of a news story, which reported that seismic sensors in Alaska detected various tremors. Further analysis by scientists unveiled a surprising discovery: a dark, compact object that looks like a pyramid in a remote location 80 kilometers southwest of Mount Denali in Alaska. Following the revelation, efforts were made to explore the pyramid by constructing tunnels and elevators. Douglas realized that the pyramid's location corresponded to the uncharted area on the map, leading him to believe this was the government's hidden secret in Alaska. He expected widespread discussion about this discovery, but to his surprise, it remained largely unacknowledged. When he inquired with the local news station, they denied ever broadcasting the story. However, a film editor informed Douglas that the story had indeed aired, but someone had confiscated the tapes. Years later, Douglas attempted to find more information by examining government documents, only to be thwarted by 2 mysterious officials who claimed he lacked the necessary clearance. This deepened the mystery surrounding the hidden pyramid. However, it was not until 2 decades later, when his discovery entered the public sphere, that he could finally tell the world about his findings. It started after he talked to Linda Moulton Howe, an investigative journalist and UFO expert, about the pyramid. In July 2012, Linda discussed it on a radio show, sparking further revelations and testimonies about the pyramid from individuals like Bruce Pearson. Bruce narrated the strange incident his father experienced while doing the supply mission with a helicopter that they thought would be normal. During the helicopter flight, they found an unusual underground structure. Although the pilot claimed it was an ancient structure unrelated to nuclear operations, the decision to carry out armed intervention after landing made matters more mysterious. Other people's narrations and videos corroborated the existence of the pyramid. From the story of an underground pyramid in Alaska to the baffling occurrences across the globe, human history will be re-examined, and a quest for hidden truths will soon be discovered. The narrative of the Dark Pyramid took an intriguing turn when a 46-year-old individual, identified as the adopted son of a retired Western electric engineer, shared a mysterious tale. According to him, his father had divulged involvement in working on a powerful electrical system within the pyramid during the early 1960s. Also, Linda received a letter from an anonymous identity who said she was psychic. She accurately described the pyramid and hinted at the use of Earth's energy. Based on a humanoid character seen guiding the group into the pyramid, she believed that extraterrestrial interference could play a role. Finally, a particular mystery was added to the story when Linda received an enigmatic call from the East Coast. He confirmed Douglas's claims, affirming that he had personally discovered the Alaska Pyramid and knew all the details about how it was built and its size. One more fascinating tale came from a retired naval captain who had worked with radar installations in Alaska during the 1980s and was involved in top-secret activities there. He recounted a peculiar phenomenon near Lake Minshumina, an immensely powerful electromagnetic source disrupting aircraft and communications at his base. After the revelations from Chinese tests, the captain made a significant connection. The location of this disturbance came from a giant pyramid underground situated deep in the heart of Alaska. However, it was not visible on the maps or satellite images. When he reported his results to his superiors, they immediately threatened him with a court-martial. Given the scarcity of information, except for the few soldiers who availed themselves to talk about it, indisputable data surrounding the origins of the pyramid cannot be known for sure. A wide variety of theories suggest that an extraordinary society might have placed it there. Is this why the government is trying to keep it a secret? Its revelation to the public could thoroughly reassess our understanding of human history. The notion that an advanced civilization might have thrived in ancient times, potentially surpassing our current technological capabilities, challenges our understanding, particularly given our struggles to replicate such pyramid construction. Stories of pyramids appearing in other places are not limited to Alaska. Many scholars and eyewitnesses say that mainstream media reports a negligible percentage of the pyramids around the world to conceal them. It is well known that places like Bosnia, China, the Bermuda Triangle, and Antarctica have seen several reports of huge pyramid-shaped structures. This perpetuating speculation ignites the staggering interest in the higher meaning of pyramids and the powerful dynasties they could symbolize. For example, in the Bermuda Triangle, oceanographer Dr. Meyer Verlag discovered mammoth glass pyramids at a depth of 2,000 meters with the help of sonar technology. Research instruments showed that these giants feature a crystal substance and stand nearly 3 times bigger than the Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. Dr. Verlag has suggested intensifying the study of the mysteries concealed by the pyramid structures in the Bermuda Triangle region. At a press conference in the Bahamas, the scientists delivered a report describing the precise location of the pyramids. The scientists explained that the instruments used are something that even modern science is unable to comprehend. Extensive research will bring to light the great mysteries of these underwater structures. Whether these structures hold the truth remains to be seen, but there is a possibility that they hold significant historical secrets, possibly linked to events like the last pole shift. Western researchers claim that these underwater pyramids were built on land and completely submerged by a big earthquake. They argue that in ancient times, the ocean of the Bermuda Triangle could have been the streets of Atlantis, where people were searching for supplies at the pyramids. This discovery challenges current archaeological theories. Initially identified by a doctor in the 1960s, the massive structure has recently been confirmed by independent diving teams from France and the US. However, experts are tirelessly working to unravel even darker and more frightening secrets. In 1968, Dr. Ray Brown, a naturopath from Mesa, Arizona, encountered a surprising phenomenon when diving around the Bahamas. Diving all along and isolated from its companions, Dr. Brown suddenly discovered a huge structure resting on the ocean floor, which looked like a black pyramid against the lit-up water. Amidst limited air supply, he managed to obtain an unusual crystal sphere from the spot. The researchers found the crystal sphere, which was unusual because of its properties, the most intriguing item. Over the long haul, some ideas have been circulating about the association of the crystal-powered pyramids with Atlantis. These theories propose that the structures could efficiently harness, store, and distribute energy. experiments have shown that pyramids function naturally as energy reservoirs because they can harness and store energy. The very nature of the pyramid, in terms of its material and the object on its peak, conveys a lot of mystique and increases its power even more. Crystals, famed for their multi-purpose energy applications and piezoelectric features, have often been used in technologies like earlier radio receivers. With the aid of germanium crystals, these radio receivers could detect and transform radio waves into an electrical signal. The mystery of the pyramid shape has baffled scientists for a long time. This shape suggests that it holds a clue in how we can obtain ancient forms of energy. Pyramids have long been known to collect and accumulate energy and are often referred to as power stations. The latest observations indicate that these objects even beam energy into space, which leaves no doubt about their use as generators. Dr. Viktor S. Grebennikov has just discovered one outstanding characteristic of the pyramid, the cavity structural effect, CSE. He theorized that the pyramid would be able to generate anti-gravity, and an experiment with the CSE led to the development of a device that could be used to build basic anti-gravity platforms. Furthermore, Grebennikov had developed a unique perception of the power of a pyramid peak. He mentioned that there was an energy zone. Sensations and even flames could be felt inside this area. Despite some believing that the Bosnian pyramid has formed naturally, the evidence contradicts this theory. Before digging, the Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan, Mexico, seemed like an ordinary hill. Nevertheless, the images of the same place before and after excavation tell us that people built it. Another puzzling phenomenon associated with pyramids is the creation of energy vortexes, which can cause spatial irregularities, including those reported in the Bermuda Triangle. Survivors of incidents in the triangle have encountered massive swirling vortices that appear and vanish suddenly. Some believe these vortices, possibly generated by submerged pyramids discharging energy, could be responsible for the disappearance of ships and crews. Exploring these mysterious pyramids could unveil ancient technologies and shed light on their true purpose. However, deep-sea archaeology is expensive and often lacks sufficient funding, making future attempts to uncover the secrets of these structures challenging. In other news, a team of paleontologists involved in their regular excavations in the distant wilds of Alaska discovered an otherworldly artifact embedded within the ancient sedimentary layers. Preliminary examinations reveal unusual fossils, unlike anything seen on Earth so far. Its anatomy defies conventional classification, bearing features distinctly non-terrestrial in nature. Scientists exercise extreme caution as they diligently free the fossil from its rocky enclosure, mindful of the unparalleled significance of their discovery. The story of the discovery quickly becomes news, making headlines that cannot be ignored by those interested in research, history, and culture. The fossil is subjected to even the most thorough investigation, using advanced techniques from paleontology, molecular biology, and astrobiology to solve its puzzles. Speculations about the origin of the fossilized organism are in the air. Is it the proof of aliens visiting Earth centuries ago? Or are these relics from an ancient line of evolution that had its roots in marine life a very long time in the past? As the scientists go deeper into their investigations, the alien fossil also calls for new insights, putting some of the already known concepts of the nature of life in the universe to the test. The process continues, as researchers argue. Theories are proffered, and their worth is searched through exploration, which in turn drives the scientific community to unexplored territories. Unfortunately, while the fossil first hinted at the possibility of an alien, further correction with careful experiment and scientific input has led to the conclusion that it is not from outer space. Rather than seeing it as just any discovery from Earth's history, this fossil stands out as an exceptional find, presenting a nice contrast to our planet's remarkable variety of life. Indeed, this fossil may not be an extraterrestrial artifact, but it is of inestimable value to paleontology and understanding of ancient life. With its own characteristics and structure, the fossil offers significant information about the history of ecosystems in ancient times and the evolutionary process. The excavation of the fossil is a topic of great interest among scientists who are working very hard to figure out the story behind it by putting the pieces together and thus challenging the existing hypotheses. From its geological feature to its anatomical structure, every detail is like a puzzle that sheds light on the many mysteries of the prehistoric and gives us more facts on Earth's biodiversity. Although this may not have produced solid proof about aliens, it strongly indicates that the more we explore, the more beautiful secrets we will discover that are present on our own planet. What wonders remain unmapped under the surface, and how many other incredible fossils will be unearthed in the future to be eagerly read for additional pages in the story of our planet's past?